Hello everybody, welcome back to Bottom Line Tactical. Thank you for watching, first of all. And today we decided to do a review on the CMR30, as you may have seen in the intro. We got quite a lot to say about this, but first let's start with its features. First of all, it is a 16-inch, technically it's a bullpup. It's built off their PMR design, so it is a pistol chassis with a 16-inch barrel, and it does have a collapsible stock on it. And it's 6th position, but I broke the 6th position, so that's my fault, not Keltec's. The trigger is a very weird trigger. It feels like a Glock trigger, but the breaks a lot sooner. There's no wall. It just breaks. It's interesting. I don't even know what to call this. Dog-eared?
Ambidextrous charging handle.
Sure, sure, an ambidextrous charging handle. Ejection port's right here above the pistol grip, just like you'd expect on a handgun. And it shoots 22 Magnum. And once you take care of it, clean it up, and get the extractor set properly, it works pretty well.
We'll get into more of that extractor thing. It needed some modification.
Yeah, it definitely did. It has a threaded barrel. It's a, was it half by 28?
Half by 28.
Yep, it has a standard, basically 5.56 22 caliber thread on it. It's pretty nice, and it comes with 2 MBS mag pull flip sights, which have held zero pretty well up until we had to disassemble it, which we will once again talk about later. But other than that, most of the gun is completely aluminum, except the barrel. Barrel is a rolled steel, and it is a polymer frame down here for the grip because it comes straight from the PMR. So that part is polymer. You do get 30 round polymer mags that hold 22 mag. I already said 22 mag, but there it is twice. However, as you said earlier, the manufacturer, Keltec themselves, actually say not to load them all the way when you first get them because there is quite a bit of feeding issues with it. And since you're more of the gun nut than what I am when it comes to the mechanics of it and stuff, if you'd like to break down the problems we have in this, by all means, feel free to.
If I may. As Jay was just saying, we've had some issues. It was good out of the box, not taking that away. Well, actually, no, right out of the box, but we didn't know that you're not supposed to fully load the magazine.
Yeah, out of the box, I immediately loaded all the mags to 30.
What's the point of having a magazine if you can't top it all the way up from out of the box? But that's whatever. The issues that we have had so far, you can't be rough on this. Like a lot of guys, they'll just rip this right out. And as I'm about to show you,
It locked on the 5th.
that is not supposed to happen.
I did that.
Because back here, there's these 2 polymer ears that go inside this rail that catches that. That's for disassembly purposes, and to fully disassemble, there's a pin here right above the trigger that you got to pound out the whole way. Then this just slides right out, but that wasn't supposed to happen. And another issue that we had was for a rimfire cartridge, you have to have an extractor groove. So in the chamber, like here's your shell, and it has like a little rim around the bottom. There's supposed to be a claw that goes into a groove that helps rip that fired shell out of the chamber. This one didn't have. This one must have slipped past QC because it wasn't fully milled out proper for that extractor groove. I think that's what it's called, extractor groove. So I had to go in there with a Dremel tool go burr. I was able to get it to work. What I originally wanted to do was I wanted to do a full disassemble so that I can get in there proper, but whatever Loctite you guys use there, holy shit. I couldn't get them all out. All of them but one came out, so that's what halted that. Not a dig on Keltec, but other than that, I kind of like this. I didn't really like it at first. I'm coming around to it. I don't really know what else to say about it. It has its flaws, especially out of the box, but I'm a tinkerer. Some of you guys might like that.
What I will say about this is,
put that back on?
yeah, I'm gonna get it right now.
Pain in the ass.
What I will say about this though is, I originally bought this to be my truck gun because it is compact, and back before I broke the stock, you could just rip the stock right out to this position and it would stay there, which was fucking phenomenal. It was great. You could instantly have a full-size rifle and 22 mag, and it's nothing to sniff at. And most people you come across in your everyday, day-to-day life, boy, that's a tongue twister, day-to-day life, they aren't wearing body armor. So 22 mag VMAX is gonna fuck. you could drop deer of 22 mag VMAX. So it's gonna fuck. So I thought about it, I was like, oh, this would be good to have in the truck. It's not, you know, that much of an issue. Up until we started to try to make this video. And now I regret ever thinking about that. So right now it's just gonna be a range toy. It's something to have fun with and plink with. Maybe it'll be a squirrel gun for a little bit, up until I can start getting the confidence back that this thing is actually reliable enough to be something I could every day carry in my truck with me.
And some of the filming that we did too, we also had our fair share of malfunctions too. Failure to extract, failure to feed. So even still, even whenever I went in there and hogged out that extractor groove, I don't want to go too much more because that can create a head spacing issue that can cause an out of battery detonation. So I took out as much as I felt safe with. And I'm not a certified gunsmith. I'm saying that right now, which in the state that we live in is perfectly legal to do on your own firearms.
Yep. And we both tinker with it. He has way more knowledge than me with it. But back to that point I was trying to make with it. Now it may not be the gun's fault necessarily, because we only have about 100 rounds on this right now. And I know a whole bunch of you guys are going to start cussing me out in the comments saying, well, why would you carry a gun on you as, you know, your self-defense gun if you have less than 100 rounds through it, you didn't train with it, blah blah. Well, I carry a fucking handgun on me everywhere, guys. I'm not that stupid, you dumb cunts. Anyway, so we're going to slowly put it back through its paces, I think. 22 mag is still relatively cheap. It's nowhere near as expensive as what 5.56 has suddenly become overnight. Thanks, panic buying idiots. You should have prepped sooner. So it's an interesting little thing. I love the idea of it. It was the original MP7 at home, and now that PSA has the PSA 5.7 coming out. But we're definitely going to do a video on that too whenever we can finally get our hands on one. We already know it's going to be really fucking expensive, so if you guys could help support the channel in some kind of way, that'd be great.
Just like, comment, subscribe, tap the bell.
All the cringe YouTube stuff, you know. Yeah. But yeah, we plan on doing that and some other stuff for you guys. And hopefully we get this out sooner than later. We'll see. Either way though, Keltec does make surprisingly really good guns like the RFB and the KSG-12, and it's just the pistols. For some reason, their pistols have a lot of fucking issues out of the box for some reason. But their rifles and their shotguns are top of the line.
So, Jay, what do you think about the ergonomics of the reload?
It's interesting. I'm actually glad you brought that up because I didn't think to bring it up. To release for a reload, it's like an Uzi. It's back here. But it's nowhere near as, like, present as what an Uzi's is. It's not a tab, it's a push-in button. It's really strange. If the mags had literally just a slight bit more of a lip on them, it wouldn't be as, like, difficult to do with. And equally such the mag wall's kind of funny how it's shaped out there for how the mags are shaped too. It's really easy to get them hung up on the front of it here, in the front of the pistol grip. Anybody who has a PMR or a CMR, they know what I'm talking about. You'll see probably in the cinematic if we keep it. I definitely fumbled the reload there, and we tried like 5 times.
It's good to keep it in.
Yeah, so you guys can actually see the quality of it.
What do you think about like the safety, the bolt release, all that?
The bolt release is definitely ass on this gun. And it's not Keltec's fault why it's ass, I don't think. It's just, there's not enough purchase for how much spring tension there is, because you need higher spring tension because it's a 22 mag, not a 22. The PMR is 22 LR. So them beefing up that spring has made the bolt releases. It's kind of ass, but it has all the same controls on it that a PMR would. But I don't know. It's a fun toy. It's a fun little plinking gun to go out to the range with and stuff. And like I said, probably kill squirrels with. I might, for shits and gigs, put the Pinty on here and just see if we can actually stretch its legs out a little bit. Because I'm not the greatest of firing sights. Like, I can hit out 200 firing sights, but not reliably. I will admit that I need to work on that. But like with a scope on here, who knows what it could do?
I don't know. I think it's probably gonna be a 3-minute gun at best.
Really?
Honestly, I do. Just because of this, how the barrel and the action is held in to the chassis here. It's not very good for barrel harmonics. So I think at 100 yards, you'll get a 3-inch group, which is a 3 minute of angle group. So whenever I speak in MOA or 3 minute, that's what I mean. Like your potential group size. I think it's going to do 3 minutes at best. That's on a good day. I think it's probably going to be an average of 5 minutes. I think on a good day when we're doing the work, there's no wind, everything's beautiful, I think 3 minutes, but as of your average range session to where you're just kind of going on to blow off some steam after work or whatever, I bet probably a 5 minute.
With that, I think I'm going to say I'm good talking about it from here.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Oh, no. Of course, we do our scale rank. What would you scale rank it?
I actually don't think we should do it anymore.
Why?
I think that everybody else should go ahead and tell us what they think down below in the comments, because we might be a little bit biased since we actually had hands-on with it. We already said our opinion on it. It's a good range toy at best.
Yeah, but how would you scale rank that as a safe queen? How would you scale rank it with,
I would not make this a safe queen at all. Like, it's cool to look at, don't get me wrong, but like nothing about this says it's a safe queen. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I don't like the way it looks. I never liked the way it looked. I don't like the ergonomics of it. It doesn't fit
The ergonomics kind of are ass.
yeah, of course, that's like with anything, though. I mean...
But the ergonomics are ass because of this.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get a good, like...
I don't like that. I don't like the safety controls. I don't like the bolt release. I don't like the stock. I mean, of course, if you practice and train with anything, you're going to be good with it. But if you're trying to be... I don't know, if you're just going out to having fun, it's not very intuitive of how to operate this. It takes a little bit of thought. It takes...
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, just like anything else. It needs practice, but you need a lot of practice to get good with this. That's just my opinion.
That's a fair look on it. All right, so should we just do the 1 to 10 since nobody watches this far anyway?
Sure, why not?
If you are watching this far, let us know. What are we comparing it to, though? Are we gonna compare it to like an EDC, or are we just gonna compare it to a range? How about we do both?
Yeah, you were using it for an EDC, and my only experience with it is a range. So what's your skill 1 to 10 skill rank for an EDC?
So before we start having all the issues with it, as an EDC, I would have rated it probably like a 6. Probably, because again, 22 mag will fuck somebody up. You can hold 30 rounds in it once the magazines get broken in. And if it could feed and extract and do everything reliably, it would be great for an EDC, especially a truck gun. And it's a rifle, so you're still getting all the velocity out of it. So I would have given it a 6, but with all the issues we've been having as an EDC...
Check your local laws.
Yeah, that too.
Disclaimer.
But instead of it being an EDC, because now with all those issues, and it's just... I feel more reliable to have an issue than believe that this gun will be reliable in a critical situation now. So as an EDC, I'm going to give it a 0.
Ooh, that's a hard rank. And honestly, as my experience as a range toy, I give it a 4 out of 10 just because it's neat. It's not something you see every day, but also at the same time, I don't like the ergonomics of it, and I don't think the accuracy is there for it to be fun. That, and I don't know, depending on where you're at, 22 mag can be easy to find, it can be hard to find.
That is also true. Because even just where we live, like one gun store will have a ton of it, and the other one won't have any of it. Like today when I went down to our tactical store, they didn't have any of it. But if I go out here to our hunting store, they have tons of it.
Yep.
It's crazy. But I will say this though. The coolest thing about it as a range thing that I think could give it an extra point up to a 5.10 is the expressions and the confusion people have on their face when they first handle it. Because when they first see it, they're like, oh, that's really cool. I want to hold that. And as soon as they touch it, they're like, yeah, what the fuck?
That was honestly my first reaction. Whenever he handed it to me, I'm like, I hate it. I hate all of it. And I did one of these numbers. I'm like, get it away from me.
I will also say this though, the cheek weld on this is surprisingly awesome. It surprisingly has a very good cheek weld for what it is. Like a skeletonized stock like this, collapsible skeletonized stock. This cheek weld is like, it's on par. You could get, it's great.
That's gonna make shooting with an optic kind of fun then.
Yeah, actually.
Because that's going to raise it up.
Yeah, you got a point. Its optic might actually be a way to go for this.
I don't know. It depends. Depends on what you like. If you like it on the cheekbone like I do, it's not going to be high enough.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Be good for a red dot.
Red dot would be great. But we still got a tri-scope. Anyway, we've been rambling.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, that'll be it. That'll be the review for the CMR30 from Keltec. And hope you guys have a lovely day, and God bless you.
Like, comment, subscribe. That is the bottom line on the CMR30.